welcome, everybody, to this edition of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with Jaquari and Damon Armstrong. This is the, I don't believe in this phrase, but most people understand it. Somebody told me the other day, Keith, y'all keep it real. What do you mean keep it real? I need you to explain that. They couldn't explain it. I wasn't trying to give them a hard time. What I was trying to do to understand how they saw us. So, because he didn't give me an answer, I had to take it this way. We have real conversations with each other and other folks that come on with us about, our lives, who we are, what we want to be, and where we're going. So, thank you. I appreciate it. Keeping it real. No. Jaquari, how you doing today, brother?
I'm well, man. Well, I have very little to complain about at this juncture.
Okay. Damon Armstrong, how are you, sir?
I'm on the man, man. Being honest with myself. Trying to eat right, man, and take care of my grandbaby.
Okay.
No, she keeping me on my toes, bro. Straight up. I feel vulnerable at sometimes. She was like, "Granddaddy, how come that meal ain't hot, man? They feel kind of cold."
See,
with that pinky, like, hey, with that pinky, like, this. Hey, man, what the? Hey.
Hey, I do that, Keith. I tell you shit. She was like, "Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Mess it all up."
Do it again.
Warm this up.
Listen, if I can
put a little more sugar in there.
That's what I'm saying. If I can put my hands in it, it ain't warm, man.
You now hold me up, man.
You know what I mean?
I've been here before, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Listen. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm sure you guys have been in the last couple of weeks. You've been seeing our little shorts. Damon, myself, and Jaquari. You know, with our profound things. You know, we're getting a lot of spins. Hey, jump on board with the waves, baby. Like them joints. Come to our page. Like, share, and subscribe to our page. Because guess what? We got a lot of content. We got a lot of knowledge. Hey, and we, as grown men, see, I don't like, look, honestly, because I'm doing it for context, but I don't like to be called grown man because I already know I'm grown. And I don't like to be called grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? I'm 59. You know what I'm saying? I'm 59. If I got to tell somebody that I'm a grown-ass man, that means two things. Either I want to fight you or I'm acting like a complete child. And I don't act like no child. You feel what I'm saying? I tell you what, let's start this part of the day. And really and truly, this wasn't planned, but I want you guys to Damon, Jaquari.
For real.
Damon, Jaquari. Just give me quickly your view of what's going on in the world today. You don't have to get into the histrionics of things. You don't have to get into the details.
We have to avoid that word today, brother.
You don't have to get in real details, but just touch on a little bit of what you see out of your lens. We'll start with you, Jaquari.
The world is suffering from a severe case of solipsism, sir.
Okay. You gonna hit us with a definition of what that is?
A definition? You don't know what the word solipsism means?
Did you just hear what I said?
All right, real quick.
I ain't want to say that, man, but I was just waiting to see the response, bro.
No, I got to throw it out there. I don't know. Go ahead, Jaquari.
All right, solipsism. The quality
hold on, Spoke, before you finish. I'm gonna do like Muhammad Ali. I don't know what that means, but if it's good, I'm all that, man.
Yeah.
See, solipsism, the quality of being selfish or self-centered. Uh, use it in a sentence. She herself elicits scant sympathy, such is her solipsism and lack of self-awareness.
Okay.
I mean,
Damn,
it's just
that about covers it, don't
Yeah,
it?
that like a motherfucker. Yeah,
it,
boy.
just another way of saying, we're all like operating in this narcissistic haze of fucking unrealness, man. And every country on the face of the planet, man, is in this constant chase, well, constant pursuit of American values or whatever. But when they catch it and they see what it really is, it turns people against us, man. It does. I mean, because it's America. America first was a popular phase before Trump got a hold of it. It was we're the most self-centered
Point.
nation that's ever existed, man.
I think, man, that might go over a lot of people's head because that's very profound what you
It
just said.
was. It was. It was,
I
man.
think I think at some point in the future you might have to break that down to people, man, so they can understand where you're coming from. But as far as I can reach, or as far as I can understand, that's very profound, bro.
Thank you.
Because I ain't understand the damn definition in the first place. Then when you broke it down, I'm like, well, hell, what have I been missing?
It slid on in there. Safe.
And I don't think it's something that you've been missing, bro. I think it's just it's something that we've all been participating in, man. I mean,
Right,
I
the
don't,
definition and beyond. Right, that's deep, bro.
All right, Damon. Talk to us, brother. What do you
How the
see?
hell I'm gonna follow that shit, man? Hold on now. He need
No,
to,
no, no, no. Hold on. No, this is not a competition. You ain't following nothing.
I ain't
We
no
talking about.
competition, man, but he need to elaborate a little bit more.
Look at you. Give
Let me
him
catch
time, sir.
let me
Give him
catch
time.
something, man.
Yeah.
well, I
So
mean, that's
let me catch something I can work because what he just described was, I'm not gonna say 40 and shit because 40 and shit you could disagree with, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're offended. But what he just described, it's hard to be offended by that, man, because it's something that's a balanced thing that everybody feels, and they're not confused about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a described nuance to it, man, because everybody can describe to it if they're honest with themselves. And that's why, I pushed back at him like I did. That's
Look,
why I pushed.
sure will.
Malika had the
Oh, you on
look.
the spot, bro. You got it
Mal-
because you got me. You stomped me. You know what I'm saying?
Look, Malika had to look that up, so she like, look, spell it.
Solipsism. Solipsism.
Ta-da! Is that it? Hey, Damon, do you have anything else, or you good?
I'm just saying, man, I'm learning. I'm in learning mode right now, and I don't want to say nothing, man, to dispel what he's saying or confuse or get in the way of it because it apparently it was meant to be.
Well,
Because
if you dispel it, it
a
just adds to the
sister,
nature.
responded.
If you try to dispel it, man, it just adds to the conversation, bro.
That's it. That's
It's
it.
all
Because
content.
Okay.
look. Basically,
All right.
in layman's term, the world is in a dizzy razzle, and that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But John Armstrong reference.
So yeah,
But
he went to the Delta
yeah,
on that.
so me personally, what I see is our days are driven by entertainers, right? And I have been trying to trace back, and this is nothing that I'm going on some kind of rant. I've been trying to trace back of where did when did it happen that we follow entertainers with their petty squabbles because it's dominating our news feeds, it's dominating everything. And we're going to talk about a couple of them today anyway. But my point is, I'm not trying to be hypercritical or anything like that, but our community is a very highly intelligent community, resourceful, and everything that has to do with driving this country forward, we have a hand in. But why are we being fed off of entertainment news every day? That's all I had to say. I mean, like I said, I'm not going into no full rant about anything.
I'm gonna tell you something because it just hit home to me, man. Because my wife talked to me about this other day.
Uh-huh.
She talked to me about this other day, and this is a woman, man, who she's about to work. She ain't about to talk. She about to work. And this is what she hit me in the head with. She said, "Listen, man. As long as me and you been on, we going in our 60s. We remember our 20s. You know what I'm saying? We're not far fetched from that. We understand it." She said, "Do you see the world, man? The world is crazy and chaotic from our perspective because we are older people. And we have our experience.
Yeah.
But when we were going through our shit, the people that was with us in their teens and in their 20s was crazy as hell too."
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't get it until we was in our mid-30s. And that's when we started to try to understand and make a life for ourselves, our kids, and our lineage. This is what this woman told me. Now, some of us didn't make it. Some of us had their own trials and tribulations. But at the end of the day, they still wind up figuring that shit out. Now, you ask yourself about the cats that went in prison in the 80s and 90s who came out today. What are they trying to do now? They're trying to find a way.
Yeah.
They're trying to find a way. They're trying to find understanding. You know what I'm saying? What we do is get caught up is think about how many cats you know who went to prison in the 80s. You know, there are like a handful of cats who came out of doing that time who doing great now.
Yeah.
What we have a tendency to do is judge a cat when they in their teens and shit and say they ain't finna be shit.
Well, look, it depends on what they're doing. Now, if you ain't doing shit and you getting pointed at that way, I get that. But if you
It's all circumstantial, bro.
Yeah,
It's
but
just like the law. It's just like the law you follow. It's just like the law you follow, bro. It's all circumstantial.
I get that. There's also that level of depending on what you do, if you're guilty of it. You understand what I'm saying? Now,
I know a cat, man. I know a cat, and I'm not gonna mention no names.
Uh-huh.
I know a cat, man, who got damn near life for robbing a friend.
Okay.
Friend recognized him. The friend wound up dead, allegedly.
What? Hold on, man. You done missed a big ass chunk, man.
No,
rewind that just a little bit.
I'm saying.
No, I'm saying to you this. I was with you when you said went to jail for robbing a friend, but then wound up dead allegedly. I don't.
No. The friend he robbed wound up dead.
Okay, got you. I'm with you now.
The friend he robbed, this man wasn't no killer. He was just a cat who was all about the hustle.
Yeah. Okay.
He's just all about the hustle, but now he doing life.
So
and they ain't pulling no trigger.
Okay.
They ain't pulling no trigger. He was just there. Feel me? How many situations that we know like that? Cats just there.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna play the
that at least gives you the hear me out, bro. That at least gives the person involved the latitude to have the opportunity to say, okay, yeah, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I do deserve a future,
I think
right?
I agree. I agree
And
with that.
I'll leave it like that.
Okay. But L, how do you look at this to you, Fluke? How do you look at the fact that he made the decision though, and this is no indictment on this young man because hold your head up, baby. But he made a decision to rob his friend. You feel what I'm saying? He made that decision. Now he was probably with a hothead which on some dumb shit, which he should have understood in the first place. Because you got to understand all the people around
Right. Well, if you're going to make that simplify it like that, go ahead.
you. Am I simplifying it?
You said you had to measure everybody around you, right?
Yeah, yeah. But my point is this: how much responsibility, even though he didn't, like I said, I'm with you. He was young. It was some dumb stuff to get involved in, right? How much responsibility should he bear because he participated in the robbery?
He made a wrong choice.
Okay.
Made a wrong choice. Absolutely. I mean, you can't deny that. I mean, there has to be consequences to that, right? You know, but beyond that, because so what we have the tendency to do based on propaganda and what people espouse in the laws, formulas, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? What dispels that argument, bro, man, is that shit is different when it comes to a certain group of people and other people. You know what I'm saying? As who we are, do we hold our kids responsible in terms of making mistakes? Whereas they say, hey, our kids made a mistake, but they was young and they trying to incorporate the psychological shit into it. You know what I'm saying? Now, so when we see the game, how the game is played, do we say to ourselves, well, over there, they saying that their kids wasn't old enough to make the right decision, to make the right choices, and doing that and doing that. So we have to be lenient on them. But we on the second hand, on the other side, say that our kids, man, but you know what the deal is, and it doesn't matter if you're too young to understand what's happening. It doesn't matter. You was wrong, so you have to suffer the consequences. You know what I'm saying? But their kids is, you know what I'm saying, not going to prison. The prison is not filled with them because of the psychological aspect of it. So at some point in time, brother, we as men, we hold our people accountable and being responsible, but at the same time, is the playing field level? It's not.
I
So
mean, but
what do
but
we do? Do we continue to say, you know what? They're gonna go to jail because they crossed the street and that's a third strike or whatever you know on the extreme end, and they got to go, and we got to put money in their commissary. Whereas a kid could say, "Hey man, I was scared for my safety, so I took a damn AR-15 3 goddamn 1,000 miles away." You know, and feel justified for that. You know what I'm saying? That it doesn't match up and it doesn't make sense. So, in my mind, in my thinking, as I prepare my son, I can say, man, you have this responsibility. You have to toe this line. You have to be this individual as a black man, and you're 6 goddamn 4 and 200 plus pounds. You have to be this, and you have to be that. You know, and the field doesn't balance out. It doesn't make sense. My son passed it, so he's on the other side of it. All he had to do is just keep his head down and make it happen. But there's kids over here that, like my nephews, who didn't have a damn chance, who didn't have a chance. Yes, they did their dirt, man, but Was they a target? That doesn't mean that they wasn't a target. It doesn't mean that they wasn't harassed. It doesn't mean that they wasn't humiliated. And they called and asked me, man, why is this happening? In that situation, when they called me and asked me why is this happening, I have to be honest with them, bro. I have to tell them the truth, dude. I had to ask them first. What did you do? That's where we as black men lie. Don't lie to me, son. What you tell me the truth? What you do? And then we go from there. Now I can't talk about where they was disrespected and treated badly unless they told me the truth. And I'm not going to judge any black man without hearing what the words they have to say, bro. And I trust in myself whether or not they're lying to me. You see the difference?
I mean, look, I understand exactly what you're talking about, but also it comes to a point where we all have to hold ourselves accountable for what we do. Now, if you special needs, that's a different spectrum of it. You feel what I'm saying? But my thing is, I hurt for people who get caught up in the system and they shouldn't be there. I hurt for them because I think very highly of our community. And if it's a relative, I definitely think highly of them. Jaquar, you wanted to say something?
No, it's just in working with young black and brown men, every day, man. I personally, man, I find myself having to straddle a fine line of teaching, admonishment, and I'll say proper guidance, man. Outside of teaching, man. I mean, because accountability, man. It's not a snappy fresh catchphrase, man. It's something that you really have to live your life by. If you want things to go right for you, self accountability, man, will keep you out of situations like that.
What about admonishment, like you said, though? What is that? What does that mean?
Admonishment, punishment. I mean, just
based
also based on the laws of the land and the crimes that these people were accused and convicted of.
Or them admitting to what they was accused or convicted of, right?
Yeah, I mean, but that's something that's a rarity, man. I mean,
but isn't that admonishment though? Admonishing what your crimes or whatever you did.
I mean, well, what I mean when I say admonishment, I mean like helping that youth to understand, man, that you did wrong here. You did wrong here.
Okay.
I understand that.
I understand
you was with your people, and things went too far. Things went too far this time.
Right.
And I'm not saying that well he was probably doing things like this all the time and all that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I don't want to paint myself in that in that corner. But what I'm saying is, usually, young people nowadays, when they get into a friend's car, they know what's going to happen. And they're
Can I say something?
They're willing participants in what's going to happen.
They know that friend too.
And here's the thing, though. When I listen to you, Jacory, I listen to you in terms of dealing with the kid and the expression of the parents too, man. As you explain yourself to the parents. I'm saying I see you striking the balance between the kids' situation as opposed to explaining what parents have to deal with. Am I wrong for
No,
you
you're
know?
absolutely right because a major part of my job is trying to help this young man figure out what to do with his life, what his next step is. You know, the caveat is that's not necessarily the reason why I'm there. You have people in this field who believe in locking them up and throwing away the key, and the fact that they're going to recidivate. It makes some people's mouths water because they know that their jobs are secure. So you have that, and that's black, white, red, or green. You have that
That's
aspect
the
of the community.
system, right?
Yeah,
Damn,
that's
bro.
yeah. And you ask yourself, how do you counterbalance that? Because like I said, these kids, unless they got bodies, they're going to be out. Even if they've committed serious crimes, they're going to be out because they're young. So how do we set them up? As not only the black community, but society as a whole. How do we set them up to be successful in life?
That's a hell of a question, bro, man. Because what you described earlier is scary as hell, man. And
Well,
It's
I mean,
you right there in the mix of it.
it can be terrifying, man. It can be.
I have my opinion about it. I think how you could set them up is you have to. Me personally, is the simple fact is that I'm not. I don't think you're letting these older children go. But if you want to change, you have to start in the elementary, meaning
Yeah.
that you have to expose these children to counterbalance what they may be going through so they can have a choice. You see
And
what I'm
I
saying?
just and I want to put out this disclaimer, man. And I'm not dooming and glooming about our kids, man. I'm not doing
Yeah.
that, man. I love our kids, man. Our
I ain't
kids
take it like that. I
are.
ain't take it
No,
like that.
I'm just no, I'm just I'm putting this out there for the viewers.
Hmm.
But our children, man, are dynamic young people. They really are. They really are. In all aspects, even if they're locked up, man. I've seen young men and young women do amazing things, while
Yeah.
in confinement, man.
Yeah.
You know, getting to understand that the accomplishments that they have, and the growth that takes place while they're with me, getting them to understand that extends outside, into their free life, and they can use that growth to propel themselves in their future, man. That's the trick. That's the tricky part, because for a child, there really is no difference between success and popularity.
That's real.
And popularity is unfortunately something that you will, depending on your mindset, you will do anything to be.
You talking about people in their 30s doing that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask y'all this question. Okay. Um, Basically, when it's along the lines of accountability, but how big? And I'm looking at the whole, not just where you are, Jaquari, and what we see with our lens, but in you guys' opinion, what is the impact of self-esteem and self-worth to everything we've been talking about?
You
I
want
mean,
to talk for another 6 hours, bro, on that shit?
No, no, look, I'm not asking you to be quick. I'm trying to tell. I'm asking you what is the impact? You understand what I'm saying to you? Just tell me what you think the impact is. We all three of us know, and we can go into you know, a whole thing about it. But what is the impact of it? How valuable is it to accountability?
oh, I mean, it's a huge impact, man, and value is priceless. when you if you can find a young person who truly holds themselves accountable, man, you know, like I'm talking about the level of accountability that I aspire to myself, man. That honesty and understanding that, you know, and I say it all the time on this podcast, man. The real life uh, understanding that you're not going to win in every situation. You're not going to win in every situation. You know, the best that we can do at times is compromise. When you have that settled, I think, you know, that could do a lot to propel you, man. Seriously, you know, I mean, I'm not out here in real competition with anybody, so I don't have to lie, cheat, or steal to get what I
That's
want.
real, bro. That's real.
You know, I understand that
That's
there's
very
there's
profound right there, man. Hey, congrats on it saying that, bro. That's real.
yeah, there's honest ways, honest avenues I could take, you know, to have a comfortable life. That's it for me.
Here it is, man, for me, bro. I've never put my kids in a position, man, where they have to coexist with any goddamn body, man. Because I've never been in a position where I put them in a position where they have to recognize that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I put my kids in a position where I had to deal with the things that made them arrogant, that made them out of control, and all that shit. And I said, hey, man, it's not about being that because you're being selfish and you're being out of control and you convince yourself that you don't care. I understand your compassion and the things that you love, the things you want to do, and this and whatever, all that yada yada yada. I allowed them to live their life, and the things that hurt them and the things that made them feel bad, I asked them, "How did that make you feel?" Bad, Daddy. I didn't like it. I said, "Would you do anybody else like that?" No, I would not. I said, if you are in your strongest position in your heart, you the strongest position, you're not relenting from that shit. Will you allow somebody to treat somebody else like that in your presence? You know what they said to me? No, I would not. I said, then go forward like that in your life because you know what that is? That's a decision that you made. Based on what? Was it based on the world? No, Daddy. What was it based on? How the world made me feel. That's what it was, bro. I don't give a damn about all that other shit. I don't care about it. And what makes me feel good about the choices I've made with my kids is that I allow them to feel that based on their insecurity. And I steer them to be strong based on their strength.
Okay.
So miss me with all that other bullshit. That was their choice. That was their experience. And that's what it was, bro.
Okay.
And I wasn't out there like no helicopter dad and none of that shit. I sat there when they was in pain, bro. I sat there when they was betrayed by their closest friend and all that shit. And you don't think my heart was broke? You think I ain't want to break down and cry? How would I look crying in front of my girls? Be like, oh, hold on, man. Why you crying with us, nigga? I ain't mean to say anyway. My point is, man, you
As
allow a
one
kid to be strong, man, and then make a decision for themselves, man.
one demerit inbound, boom. That
Yeah, I
shit is
know. I pay it. You allow a kid to be strong in themselves and make a decision for themselves and be that. And then as a parent, you trust in that. You trust in that you know that when you're sitting there and you're picking them up from that pain and that sorrow and that hurt, you're picking them up and you telling them to trust in themselves, then you fucking trust in themselves, man.
No doubt.
And that's it.
All right, since I'm still, we're gonna stay with you, Damon and Jaquari. I'm gonna answer this one too. Damon, do we judge ourselves with what others have? Shouldn't take you that
No.
long. Tell us why.
Because if I did that, I'd been committed suicide a long damn time ago, man. People don't got love for nobody who they deem might be weak, man. Because they don't feel weak. A weak person want to find a weak person that's weaker than them. So they're not going to give them anything, man, that's going to bolster them that they can understand.
All right, well,
Everything.
bring it on home, man, because we
Well,
don't.
I was getting ready to. What I'm
Okay,
saying
bring
is,
it on home.
what I'm saying is, you have to trust in your trial and your tribulations, man, and be in that conviction, man, and try to be that example.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for a purpose. Everybody's situation is not the same. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? What's evil is, man, when we get caught up in what makes us all angry, what makes us all insecure. And we don't deal with the nuances of what makes us strong as individuals. You know what I'm saying? And I can't tell a person what that feels like or what that is because your situation is your situation. I can only talk about mine and hope that it's right and live it. And the one thing I've known my whole life, my last point is that I've never dealt with a person directly that listened to everything I had to say. They either came back to me in retrospect afterward, or I never met them before. And that's what I got to say.
Okay,
I don't
Jaquari.
know if I answer. I don't even know if I answered the question, bro. This is a
Kind of,
personal.
kind of.
This is a personal shit I was going through in
No,
my
no, no,
own mind when I
yeah,
was going through my own trials and tribulations. Man.
yeah. Look.
So I apologize if I didn't.
You kind of answered the question, but I saw that you needed to get that off your chest. So,
And I
hey,
appreciate you
that's
doing that,
that's
bro.
that's,
You
that's
always
what we're
had
doing.
that awareness of me.
Look, that's what we're doing right now. Jaquari,
Right.
That's the question again.
the question is, do we judge ourselves off of what others have?
Of course we do, man. That's the American dream. I mean, individuality, man, is solely, well, not solely, but it's in popularity, man. Individuality is an American concept. It's a popular American concept. I mean, when people come to this country, they come from communal villages sometimes, communal countries sometimes. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, you when you come here with a tribal mindset, and it doesn't matter if you're from Africa or Europe or where you come from. When you come here, the concept of working for the good of community, for the good of the community, sort of goes out the window, man. I mean, as I said before, man, here it's competition, competition, competition. That's not necessarily the case in a communal uh, community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Tribalism doesn't work in America. It doesn't. And us, man, we're stuck in a vacuum where you know we're working for the American dream, man. African American dreams are the American dream, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
And in some aspects, when we achieve certain things, then that sort of alleviates our responsibility to be worried about that shit for the next man. We don't care. Every time that there's been like a presidential, debate that I've been actively, involved in, and I'm listening to the what do they call them? The talking points and everything. You know, the campaign discussions or whatever about what they're going to do and all this and all that. And I hear this stuff, man, and I think to myself, well, you know, that's not really going to affect me. That doesn't affect me in any way. I'm a 51-year-old black man. I've kind of aged out of these problems. You know, like not to be controversial, but Roe v. Wade, for instance. Uh, I don't see myself like being directly affected by that because number
Because
one,
you're married. But go ahead.
yeah. I mean you know, but those are the sort of things I'm talking about, though.
But I get that, and I just want to say this real quick. The more we grow, the more we need to stay in touch because we've made it through the fire. But go ahead, Jaquar. I'm sorry to interrupt
That was it.
you. Okay. Um, my opinion on it is this, and it's kind of clear for me, is whether it's some kind of Illuminati or some conditioning or some big brother thing going on, we are conditioned to compete against each other, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to. Now, me personally, I don't care what nobody else has, man. You know why? Because the three of us, we grew up with not a lot. And when I say not a lot, it's closer to nothing. We had each other, we had our mother and father. And for me to find happiness in that group makes me understand that I'm going to go out and achieve whatever I need to achieve, but it's going to be on my own terms. Meaning, if I want to be this, it's because I want to be this person. I want to see myself do this. I want to have this. Not because somebody looks at me like, oh shit, Keith has this. Oh shit, look at Keith. Look how look what Keith is doing. I don't give a flying flip about that. You know why? Because it doesn't affect me. Maybe my ego a little bit, it gets a little stroked. But guess what? That's a passing feeling. What you're doing is you're going after the things that's important to you. Then hopefully you have room to devote because it is about you, your family, and if you want to squeeze in friends, going in one direction. And if you power in that direction, then cool, right? But really and truly, I always feel like you should always save something from people who don't have it. Who don't have it. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into that, but what I'm saying to you is this. I really think that as a whole, you know, we do judge ourselves about what our neighbor has. Me personally, I don't. Because, but look, you see what Malika wrote? See, my measurement has a lot to do with my personal growth. Now, if you're a competitor, if you have a competitive nature, then that factors into what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? And what Sis is saying is making a lot of good sense. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But the thing about go ahead, Jaquar.
The thing is, for me though, my competitive nature won't allow me to have anything that anyone else has, man. It won't. It really won't. Because you know, I've been forced over the years to kind of fashion my own lane because I was never, a cute size. So I could, you know what I'm saying? So like all the popular
It's
fashion
funny
and
you took
shit,
it
man.
back to that point, bro.
Because that's what shaped me, man. That's what shaped me.
That's honesty, though.
You know,
I respect that. That's
having,
honesty.
being left out of popular movements because of finances or stature or whatever. It's made me, become a person who is discerning about the shit that I like, and
Yeah.
and this, the stances that I take. I mean, I shit, I get it. You know, everybody, wants to be normal in a popular space,
That's
but
real.
we weren't all blessed with that sameness though. You know,
I
Cele-
had. Go ahead.
no, celebrate them differences, man.
No, I had. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dan.
Here's the thing, man. It's never been a celebration for me, man. I've always told that, I had to prove myself. You know what I'm saying?
And that's true though. We our generation had to.
Right.
But go ahead.
I've always been in the position where I had to prove myself, man. And when I proved myself, I went above and beyond, people that was before me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bragging on that. I'm just saying I went beyond uh, people who had expectations of me. I went beyond it. That's what I meant to say. I went beyond it. It had nothing to do with who did this or who did that. My family, which I appreciate for doing so. Hey man, we have this expectation and we want to see you do something and we're going to support you while you doing it. While you doing it. So when they look at my life, they're not looking at me in terms of this person or that person. They look at me in terms of what I had to prove for myself. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gave me that. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody said, well, you have to be like so and so and so, and this person, that person. They expected me to be like me. You know what I'm saying? So what did I do? I went out in spite of the naysayers or whatever. I was just me. Now, in the process of that happening, I had my naysayers of people who say, well, even though he did this, it don't matter because I remember this about him, my youth. You know what I'm saying? So once I got to that point where I'm coasting and things are happening and I am providing and I am being that man in my family, now people are looking and say, well, he did that, but he's still who I thought he was. I mean, he's still my family, my whoever. And I'm like, dude, I'm not that same person. I had my own I had my own trials and tribulations that I had to go through by my damn self with my woman and my support system. That's what you don't know about. Understand what that side of it was because you didn't have the wherewithal to pay attention, not because you just this foul person who's just malicious in thought, because you had your own life to deal with. And this just so happened on the other side, we all took care of business because we were raised by the same people. It's just a matter of recognizing that we are successful. Think about that shit, how successful we are. It's not bragging. It's just taking care of business. And at some point in time, all of us deserve a reprieve from our hard work and saying, yeah, you did do that shit, man. You did take care of business and you didn't disappoint. Now, marinate on that shit for a minute. In terms of trials and tribulations and struggles and deaths and all that. Everybody go through their own stuff, and everybody figures out how to make it. And at some point, when do people come together and say, we're not being, we're not oppressed. We are successful people, and we just happen to take care of that shit. And we are an example. And that's what it is, man. We have to continue to talk about our success. You can look at the shit and see. Because when we had losses, your ass was there supporting us in our hardest times, right? What else do we have to prove? What else do we have to prove? We don't. And then we on the other side, we look at idiots. Listen to a guy who can't even carry a goddamn conversation, talking about being the president. That shit is the craziest shit in the world to me. This is at 58 years old. I am at a point in my life where I'm like, tell me what I need to support, man, based on my experience in life. Listen to the foolishness, man. You cannot even convince me of it. I have to pray about it and say, oh, Lord, I'm going to pray about not the worst shit that went in my life, but the simplest shit that could be dealt with in my life. People are in their lanes and they believe what they believe, and we have to stand strong in ours. And that's it, based on our personal experience. And that's what it is for me personally.
Okay. We're gonna move on a little bit, man, because there's a couple things I want you guys to address, and we just go from there.
I'm sorry, bro. I just went through a whole thing, man, and I'm like in where I'm at. Hopefully, God will take me somewhere else. Go ahead, bro.
Appreciate you.
Jesus on my mind.
So I want you guys to tell me what y'all think about this quote. I saw this on social media somewhere. Being retired, I surf through everything. I read a lot. I make sure I read some soft covers and some hard covers a lot. You know what I mean? And so, just I never stop learning, stop understanding. There's this new engine that I have, which is called maturity. I like to pour things into it to get some realistic answers other than peripheral answers that I used to just go ahead and assume on. You feel what I'm saying? So I pour into myself to make sure that I was either right or wrong, so I can go back and correct this shit in my mind. So it's changing up just a little bit, but Damon, Jaquari, you guys are fathers of young ladies. So I was curious about this. I saw a quote on social media. I saw a young man say, men are raised to know how to treat women, but not taught what to expect from women. Women are taught to expect from a man, but not taught how to treat a man. You want me to read that again? Because I know it's a little choppy.
Yeah.
Okay. Men are raised to know how to treat a woman. And this is this man's opinion. But are not taught are not taught what to expect from a woman. Women are taught what to expect from a man, but not how to treat a man. What are your thoughts on it? We'll start with you, Damon.
I get that, man, and that's just dare I say, common sense, man. Based on a person dealing with expectations in terms of how life treat them and all that stuff. But my thing is, I don't care about what a woman thinks about how she treats a man. I care about how a woman thinks about how she treats me. If I give myself to you and I express to you the man that I am, what I expect and how I feel, I don't give a damn how you treat another brother. You need to understand what I expressed to you and what I said to you. Now, if you can't get with that, then we could part ways. And we can go on about our business, man.
Okay.
I ain't trying to hear about no common shit. That's not, you know what I'm saying? You know what? God told me that I was special. You see what I'm saying? And I need to look for a special woman that's gonna make sure that me and her can get together and build something. Now, if you judge me about some other dude, we're not supposed to be together. And it's not gonna happen. You need to feel some compassion about something I told you about my life to make you be in my life. You know what I'm saying? If you can't latch on to that concept or that idea, we're wasting each other time. Period. And if we can't stand strong on that, then how could we be the strongest force on this planet, bro?
Okay. So let me jump in here real quick. So
Go ahead, bro.
basically what you're telling me is this: the fact that you are secure into who you are as a human being, as a man, that the fact that you can handle just about any relationship, you're able to see any kind of relationship that come your way that you can make a decision about.
What I'm saying, bro, is that if I choose to share my story and my life with that person, I'm not trying. I'm being vulnerable, bro. If I trust that person enough to be that vulnerable, I'm not trying to be that do that with strength. I'm trusting. That's why that fall is so hard. That's why that fall is so hurtful. That's why most people can never forget that shit, bro. If I trust you enough that I could tell you my heart, my convictions, and what I want in life, what I believe, and all that stuff, and you manipulate that or don't appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? That's a hard hit, bro. But here is a caveat. The caveat is a person who's strong within themselves come to realization that that's not their weakness. That's the other person's weakness because they can't accept it. So they have to twist and turn it how they want it to be. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, whether you're hurt, devastated or not, the one thing that you can hold your head on is that you didn't lie about yourself.
Gotcha.
You didn't lie about yourself, and that's what you can. And then when you get on your knees and you pray to God about that hurt and that devastation, then you know He gonna give you the right answers, man, because you didn't lie. You didn't deviate from yourself, and you come to the understanding that's somebody else's problem and not yours. And that's what most people don't understand, bro.
Okay. Jaquari.
I think, man, that it was a pretty profound statement, man, for a novice in relationships, man. Anybody that I know that's been in a long term relationship understands that outside expectations, you really can't carry them into your house, man. I mean, you have to have after spending time with somebody, sleeping in the same bed, smelling this person's bad breath and farts. You know that the fairy tale, man, is exactly what it is. It's a fairy tale, man. Relationships take work. You know,
Exactly.
I have honestly, I had no expectation for my wife to be Molly homemaker and bring home the bacon and at the end of her work they have a 3-course cook meal for me and keep the house clean or whatever. I mean, she works like 8 hour day outside of the house, then come home and work another 6 hours by herself. So that's not realistic. And truthfully, I don't care what any man tells you, black, white, or brown. It's not happening in people's houses. It's not without oppression. That was very important to me, man. Because a lot of traditional values, man, in my mind, kind of align with oppression as far as the male female dynamic goes. It does. I mean, I can clean myself. I don't need a maid. I don't need anybody to make me better. As a matter of fact, if my wife had the attitude that she did make me better as a person, I would be offended. When I asked her to marry me, I thought I was a hell of a man, and to this day, so and such many years later, I still think I'm a hell of a man. I've grown since, you know, and that's the thing that I've concentrated on, me growing. Now, whether or not she's grown, that's the question that she'd have to answer. My growth has allowed me to be able to be malleable enough to make adjustments in regards to her growth. Because she's not the same person that I married. So, and as far as her not knowing how to treat me, I think that's more so my fault than hers. And that's that. You could say that in terms to anybody you have a relationship with,
Good point.
because you definitely treat you teach people how to treat you.
It's a good point. Um, my opinion about it, and mostly it is like this. I'm a blend both you guys because this is how I truly feel, and y'all know is how I feel. Is the fact when it comes to a woman, how a woman treats me has a lot to do with what I think about myself. Because if you don't have a great opinion about yourself, you are insecure. So you are leaning heavily on how your woman treats you. Now I'm not giving her a pass and saying, well, you can treat me oh, any freaking kind of way and I'm good because I'm a strong man and this, that, and the other. No, what it is I hold myself accountable for my joy, for who I am. I hold myself accountable for my happiness because that's the foundation on who I am as a person, as a human being, period. It is not going against the woman I love, has nothing to do with it because the thing about it is I only give when I only give what I can give and I can give a great amount. You see what I'm saying? Everything that I do, it is well thought of. It's always purposeful. You see? So what I'm saying in a nutshell is being around strong men and strong women, I was able to split the difference and see the reality of it. Because a lot of it has to do with maturity. How mature are you? How mature are you? Because you're not going to always agree with your woman, your wife, your girlfriend. You're not going to always agree with them. And they're not always, as much as they are into you and all that, they're not always going to treat you in a pristine way. But the only way, in my opinion, the only way it's going to affect you if you don't see yourself as valuable. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is if I love someone and they're willing to work with me, it makes no difference how they were raised. because I was raised enough to take care of both of us. Is that realistic? No, it's not. But it's optimistic as fuck. You know what I mean? That's all I got.
My only thing is this, man. I'm not leaving anybody responsibility for responsibility for my actions, man. If I choose to love, I choose to love, man, and I accept responsibility for that, man. And in that process of choosing to love, man, I'm paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And that's my maturation process, bro. It is what it is. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody other than myself. You understand what I'm saying? If I look like if I look like a fool in love, ain't nobody's business but mine. That ain't none of your business, man. The only reason why you make a comment on that shit is because you want to make me look bad. I choose to do what I do, man, to have understanding of myself. I'm not afraid to be that person. I'm not afraid to be that. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, what you decide to do against me doesn't affect me because I made that choice. And once I come to that understanding, I can say, okay, we don't work out with each other. It ain't cool. It don't jive. It don't coincide. You know what I'm saying? And when I move on, it's my decision to do that shit. And I don't have no animosity towards you because we don't comprehend with each other. I mean,
Baba,
that
Baba knew
that
someone
that
got it.
that actually happens in life, bro.
No doubt.
That actually happens in life, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you go through that process without understanding everybody, man, that you encounter, when you go through that process of going through life with everybody, and that you encounter, you don't get confused, man. You understand yourself. You understand yourself and the choices that you made, and you say you can come to a conclusion. I kind of knew that wasn't gonna work out, so I don't have this animus and shit. And that animus is that thing that you take to the next relationship, man. And if you take that to the next relationship, you not being honest with yourself is that shit don't work out. Be it loving or friendship. You're not being honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's where I'm at in life. You know what I'm saying? The choices I made, I had to take responsibility for. And I say, okay, I'm gonna deal with this person, or I'm not. Because I went into the situation with my eyes wide open, and I made a choice on that shit.
Makes
I made a
sense.
choice.
You make a lot of sense. Yes, sir. No,
You
I'm,
know what
I'm
I'm saying?
talking about great fucking points. For real.
I made a
You know,
choice. So when it's all said and done, and I'm dealing with my own shit, I understand how to love a human being, man, based on my personal shit, my decision. And in my decisions, I can say, I made a fucked up decision that time, but I'll never do it again. Based on my own sorrow and my own hurt and my own pain. And I'm not blaming anybody else for that shit, bro.
Okay, bro.
okay.
Anybody else for that shit. And as a man, I can make that choice
Bruh,
and live with it.
bruh. We got you. We got you.
Look. I like the way you double down on everything, brother.
All right, man. I knew it was coming. But I need to express myself before I got the business, man. Go ahead.
Write your book then, bro. Goddamn.
Come, hey, get your ass on the New York bestseller list, man.
Look at you. Look at you.
I ain't trying to do that, man. I'm just trying to be. I'm just trying to love my wife. In next October, be 40 years. I'm trying to love my kids. I'm trying to love my nephew.
I see the brownie plug, man. That's what I'm talking about.
40 years. Wow.
I'm just trying to be that, man, and that's all I am. Because guess what? That's what I committed to, bro. I'm not going to deny that.
No doubt.
I understand, bro. I understand.
I'm not going to deny that. That's what I committed to, bro. And I have to live with that, with my mistakes and all that. And I'm gonna come out on the right side because I understand that's where I need to be, and I earned it.
No doubt. Let's change this up a little bit. This last question of the day.
Thank you, bro. Because I felt on the hot seat like a motherfucker, man.
How the fuck did you feel on the hot seat? What are you talking about, man?
I did, man. But I tried to stop you. Can I express myself, brothers, man? To my brothers, can I express myself?
No,
but goddamn, we all try to express ourselves. No, come on, man. We good. Come on.
No, we good, man. Don't even worry about that.
I can't. I needed to do that with my brothers tonight, man. And I love y'all for that. Thanks for allowing me to do that, man.
No doubt, man.
I'm a better man for it.
Let's lighten it up just a little bit, just a smidge, right?
Yeah.
Brother Umar Johnson, right? Brother Umar Johnson.
I think you said this before, bro.
Yeah, we talked about it before we went live, dog.
Okay.
Brother Umar Johnson, let's read what Sis had to say. We live in a time with a lot of advice about relationships out here, and people are trying to inject someone else's experience into their relationship. Good point. And we wonder why relationships seem so hard. How your relationship operates is up to you and your partner. If y'all happy, damn what others say.
Thank you, sister girl. Beautiful point.
Yes, indeed.
Beautiful point, man. Thank you for solidifying that.
Yo, this was before Damon Ja'Cory. This was before.
I think you did say about but Ja'Cory, correct me if I'm wrong.
Was it live Ja'Cory or was it before?
It was before we went live.
Oh, so it wasn't live. I stand corrected, man. Excuse me.
No, you good. You good. Listen. This was profound and entertainment. I saw and Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson I like the fact that he is a black nationalist. Or what no, not a black nationalist. He's called what they call him?
Pan-African.
Pan-African. I love that. For the simple fact that he is recognizing where he wants to be and how he wants to be. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So he was on Nick Cannon's show on this podcast. Nick Cannon, and I found this later on. That Nick Cannon asked him. This is later into. And I didn't get the first half of the question, but it was interesting what I caught. Nick Cannon asked him. He said, Dr. Umar, he said, was me wearing a dress in the early part of my career, was that wrong of me? Right? And he said, his thing is, Nick said, he felt it was cool because it was part of him relating to his feminine side. Right? Dr. Umar's response was this, and I just want your opinion about it. We don't have to get into the nuances of it, but just opinion about just change it up a little bit. He said, you know what? He said when it comes to cinema, he said first of all, it's the music in the cinema of a black man wearing a dress, and this is this is subjective when I say this. A black man wearing a dress, the music of the cinema, the coloring, the lighting, right? And the dialogue of that particular movie serves as indoctrination to putting the black man in a vulnerable feminine position. I'm paraphrasing right now, but that's basically what it was.
No, you on point.
So, speaking from Nick's point of view, and also speaking from Dr. Umar's point of view, if you guys could just give me, this is the last question of the day. If you guys could give me from each point of view what you think. We'll start with you, Jaquari.
Personally, man, I mean, Nick Cannon is, Nick Cannon is who he is. Martin's who he is. Flip Wilson is who he is. And for me, the fact that they wore a dress, in the commission of a comedic skit, doesn't mean anything to me, man. I mean, it's not the way I would choose to express my femininity. If I want to do that, I'll pet a kitten or wear a salmon colored shirt or some shit like that. But to each his own. To each his own. And I mean, we become the community, man, that finds conspiracy in everything. And I'm not saying that that's not warranted, because if you look at the Tuskegee experiment and different things, acts of atrocity that were committed against black women in regards to sterilization across the country.
Bro,
Stuff has
bro.
happened. Stuff has happened, man.
Yeah.
Stuff has happened, and unfortunately, it's been backed by the governmental machine. So I mean, we look for shit. We look for reasons for oppression, but
we should though, right?
We should, but
hold
when it boils down.
Finish, Chief.
I'm letting him finish.
I don't think Umar did that though. I don't think
I don't know. I'm just trying to make a statement. I'm just trying to make a statement.
Opinion, dog. He hadn't even got to Umar yet, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, damn.
I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, well, go ahead. Fluke.
No. Hold on.
No, go ahead.
I don't have it anymore. I don't have it anymore. Go ahead, Fluke.
I don't think, man. I think, man, that you was. I think you was addressing Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
I don't think he was addressing Umar.
I wasn't addressing each one. I was addressing the whole situation. But I lost it. I don't remember what I was going to say.
That's my fault, man. I got a little overzealous. I mean, because you was making a great point.
Yeah, he was. I think he was expressing Umar's point, man.
I just wanted to throw that in there, just but go ahead, Damon. It'll come back to you,
man. I think, man. No. I'm gonna allow you, bro, to express the point you was making, man. Hopefully, I say something, man, that gets you back on point to what you were saying. The question, the point that my man asked him that question, man, is I don't think it really. I think he's trying to. I don't know what the hell he was doing, man. When you ask Umar,
who you talking about? Who you talking about?
I'm talking about Nick.
All right, go ahead.
When you talk about Umar is trying to not defend Nick, but he's talking about the situation. in its essence, and I think Jacory was speaking on that, man, in terms of what what the experience is and all that stuff. How the hell do you even question that point that Nick asked, man? You know what I'm saying? Is Nick trying to justify him wearing the dress?
Good point. I mean, no, that's a good point, brother. Go ahead.
Is he trying to do that? I mean, why is what? You know what I'm saying? Did Dr. Umar even answer that situation that he because I don't know if Nick was trying to justify that shit based on his
I think Nick brought it up. I didn't see the first half of the question.
right.
Go ahead, dog.
No, go ahead, man, because I'm trying to figure out what was the purpose of the damn question, man.
I think a lot of it has to do with Umar's opinion about the masculinity of black men. So Jacory,
look what Sis asked us, man. I ain't mean to cut you off. I was just reading out loud.
And that's the point, Jacory, just to bring you back and see if it'll help. You were saying it's an entertainment value. He's making a decision to do this thing because it was the artistry of it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, somewhere along that lines, man. But it's for him to ask that question, man. That nobody else who's worn a dress, in black comedy, nobody else has ever addressed it. I've never heard anybody else speak on it. Not in this form or fashion. Why is it such a big deal that I done it, in my youth, and that's not how I live my life. I was acting.
Gotcha. I got you.
Yeah, so
I think a lot of it has to do with just to bring it into context. Is in the last maybe 10 years or so, and it started off quietly. In the 10 years or so, everybody's saying, "Oh, a black man can't make it in entertainment unless he wears a dress." You know what I'm saying? And that I think a lot of it has to do with, and you're right, Malika. Malika says that he asked Dr. Umar because he respects him, which is true. But a lot of the rhetoric around it, and I think a lot of it is because the guys who are more famous than others, right, coincidentally, have been in a movie in which they wore a dress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, isn't that an and motherfucker though, man? Excuse my language.
Is a what?
An and motherfucker. The people who done it say and motherfucker.
But and you might be right. So but my point is just
you have to deal with the shit, man.
Just bringing it in the context.
It has no impact on our community, man.
It has no impact.
No impact.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
No. You want to know why? Because what they're trying to do is link it to, okay, my favorite person is wearing a dress. Now my son sees that he think it's okay to change his gender. No, the fuck not, man. Pay attention to who is saying this to your child. Where'd your child get it from? They ain't get it from
streams, though.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. When I say, do you understand what I mean by extremes?
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Now we talking about the gay, wearing the dress, all that stuff. We talk about the gay, trans, all that stuff. We can talk about that stuff. But when it comes to our real community, man, how does it really affect us, man? In terms of us moving forward.
Our real community don't give a shit because we're living.
Okay, talk to me about that.
Yeah, because we're living.
There is and always will be gays in our community, man. I mean, it's just what it is.
And common sense saturates our community. Even though
therein lies the conversation, then, right?
Common sense saturates
what y'all just expressed. Therein lies our conversation.
What do you mean, man?
What I mean is that y'all expressing everybody's shit. There's no size. you're expressing everybody. You're incorporating everybody.
No, mine's personal opinion, man. I don't
I
have the
mean,
ability.
that's it. It's
Yeah, I don't have the
personal opinion.
ability to incorporate everybody's opinion. I mean, would I wear a
Well,
dress in a movie? No, I wouldn't.
No, I mean
yeah,
But
but
it's
because
what?
but it's but
But
it doesn't
yeah,
it
but let
doesn't
me ask you a question, bro.
it doesn't stem from homophobia.
But what I'm saying, bro, baby, bro,
And
a person wearing a dress in a movie, do that? Does that mean anything to you?
no,
not at all.
That's what I mean.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw Eddie Murphy, when I saw Martin Lawrence, let me see, who else did I see? When I saw these other great comedians wear a dress, look, Robin Williams, you know what I'm saying, Dustin Hoffman, I had no,
I never associated the
I
two,
did
man.
not even want to watch the movie. Not because I was turned off. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was stupid. You understand what I'm saying to you? Because
It
of
didn't affect me, brother, any way
yeah,
whatsoever. I'm gonna
and
be honest with you.
it's not against men wearing dresses. I have nothing to do with that. What I'm saying to you is I see them as entertainment, not life.
Right,
I see them as entertainment,
right.
not
So
life.
why is it so deep now, bro?
Because
I'm asking you and Jacoy, man. You're both give me an answer to that, man. Why is it so deep now?
what do you mean so deep? What do you mean?
Why does it make such a deep compact in our life as African American people as
Because we
opposed to LGBTQ or ever? Why
well,
does it make a
my,
difference?
my opinion is we're being fed it all the time.
Yeah, no,
So
no,
so
no.
we
no.
no
Are
hold on.
we being fed
Let, let,
or
let, let me answer.
okay?
As a society, we're being fed
As
it.
a society, okay.
Now, as a society, we was also fed us growing up in our 50s, growing up where white people were superior on television. We were fed that constantly. You
I'm listening.
understand? Right now, this is the thing we're being fed. It's not a bad thing. It's not anything. It's about who is in charge. Who is in charge of the concept? Who is in charge of the
Great point.
entertainment?
Great point.
Because they are going to give you what they want to see. It's that simple for me.
So as a 60-year-old man, almost 60-year-old man, how does that address your everyday life, man?
it doesn't, man,
Because
because it's entertainment. It's entertainment, man. I mean,
Okay, so how do we express that to the world, man, in terms of politics
I
and all
just
that
did.
shit?
I just did. I mean,
that's all.
I don't mix entertainment and politics. I don't do that.
No, you can. I
I
mean, you
mean,
can't. But they
back,
do. They try to do it to us all the time, though. But you can't do it.
yeah. I mean, it's
Okay.
like the old cowboy
So
western
it,
movies.
it, it doesn't affect how
It's
you
like the
pay your
old
bills and
it's
all
like
that
the
shit.
old cowboy movies we used to watch. Okay, whenever there were Native Americans in
Great
those
point.
movies,
Oh my God, you on point with
those
that, bro.
weren't please those weren't authentic Native Americans.
Get it? I get it.
They were not authentic Native Americans. And if you watch Tarzan, sometimes the black people weren't always black.
No, they was painted to be black. Hey,
Sometimes, yeah.
listen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I just can't. And our homeboy Eric, I cannot let this ride. But I'm saying, if you are going to throw some joints up here, man, the comments, and I threw this up earlier, but read what Eric said, Luke. It's
I
been
get it.
comedy.
I'm
It's
looking.
been comedy, but it didn't change until the LQABCB came out. Come on, man. Were you trying to be funny,
Hey,
my
give
guy?
it. Hey, man, you understand what the point he's making, man.
I
Give him a break,
understand the
man.
point. I'm gonna give him a break, but stop that. Cause you know we
I mean, it's
Understand the point he's
you
making,
got
man.
it. You got it. I think at some point, man,
Eric know I'm messing with him, but go ahead.
yeah, we've got it. We got to talk about inclusion. I mean,
But they already included those folks. They're already included. You know why? Because it's in our programming.
If they were
Keith,
truly
you
already
at your court.
if they were truly already included, then we would have entertainment with people from that community. There does
Yes,
those
sir.
shows do
Yes,
exist.
sir.
I'm
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
Can I,
yeah,
Yes,
they
can
sir.
do
I say
exist.
something to Keith though? Can I say
I'm
something to
listening.
Keith, man?
I'm
I
listening.
understand what you said, bro, and I'm not dismissing. I heard everything you said, baby, bro. Keith, stop saying programming, man, because you, me, and Jacoy is not programming.
I didn't say I was. I'm talking about this
But you keep
community.
saying in terms of programming, in terms of
Yes.
programming. Okay,
Oh, program. Look, I'm mentioning.
hold
What I'm
on,
saying.
bro. Hear
Hold
me out, bro.
on. Let me correct this. Then you can say what you're going to say, because I don't want you to misunderstand me at all.
Okay,
Programming means
I can
when you
respect
turn
that.
your TV on and there's a program on here. This is not programming when it comes to brainwashing and shit like that. I'm not trying to get that deep.
Okay, I understand that.
You feel me? That's all.
That wasn't the point I was trying to make. When you think in terms
Of
of the
course.
conversation that we're having, he keeps throwing out programming. That is beyond what we're talking about, man. It's not what we're saying. It's not what we're saying. You keep saying
Hey,
in terms
hold on. My
of
guy.
program,
I thought we was all expressing our own opinion about it.
what I'm saying is you lend ingredients to what the hell they're talking about. When that's not what we're talking about. When we speaking in terms of that shit, when we're not confused about it, bro. That's my point. Now we look at Eric. Eric, he did what he is. Our brother, we love him dearly. He said what he said, but in terms of what we are talking about, we're talking about our own personal experiences. Now we can talk about what everybody else is saying, but when it comes to us personally, there's a whole other conversation. There's a whole other situation. You know what I'm saying? And it can be confused. It can be confused when we're talking about our own personal experiences, and then at the end of the day, we get offline and we have conversations with each other. We can say, "Oh man, I ain't understand that you meant that."
It had nothing to do with it.
It had nothing to do with offending anybody.
First of all, it was a joke with Eric.
No.
Okay,
Keith, I'm not.
I didn't say
That
no.
wasn't my point.
Hold on, man. Hold on. I understand your point, so I'm going to answer it for you.
Okay, I'm listening.
First of all, it has nothing to do with what I did was express my opinion about something. That question that we all were talking about. That was it. It had nothing to do with anything when it came to programming. I'm talking about the actual program. That's what shows are called, programs. What we see.
Well, that's called for a person's attention when you say programming, bro.
Were we talking about our own opinions because you made your point?
But you said programming, and that was cause for a pause for me, man. When you said programming, so
and I
I had to
explained
check
to you.
myself to make sure I understood what I was talking about.
I explained to you exactly what I meant by it.
Right after the fact, man.
Okay, and that's what I'm supposed to do.
We are right now.
Look, bro. First of all, I didn't misspeak. I just repeated back to you what I said. Really, that's all. I mean, because
Right.
we all have the opportunity. We all had the opportunity to speak on it, and I respect what you say, and I heard you. So it's not like I'm dismissing you, but I want you to understand.
I can appreciate
where
that's the only point I wanted to get to, man.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
I can appreciate that.
I mean, because what we need to do and what we do all the time since we've been here is we hold each other accountable on what we say. You know what I mean? On air and off air.
I can appreciate that, bro.
So it's, look, I understand. This is why I made sure that I told you exactly what I meant when I said it. It had nothing to do with anything, for the simple fact when I say people in charge will broadcast.
And at the end of the day,
they want to see.
And at the end of the day, we respect what each other say, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't give a damn what anybody else say after that, bro. I don't.
Yeah.
No, it's
All right.
me and you appreciate each other. I don't give a shit about any of these motherfuckers out here. Excuse my language, but it's the
Yeah.
truth.
Now in the future, I want you guys to understand that I was joking with my friend, our longtime friend Eric. You know what I mean? Because he's an old head, so I don't want nobody to misunderstand. Like, oh my God, he misquoted the letters in the joint. It had nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do with that. It's just acknowledging my man because he's watching us and we there. You feel what I'm saying?
And I didn't speak because I have to work Monday.
That's the real shit, bro. We ain't talking about Eric. Eric understand where we coming from, bro. You don't have to explain yourself to that.
Eric got a job too.
Eric understand where you're coming from, but you have to explain that, man.
Hey, Eric didn't come on there like, no, in Muffin, blah, blah, blah. He didn't do that. So he good. Look, all right. So let's just take this on home real quick.
All right, bring us home, bro.
Real quick. I'm going to go to you first, Damon, and then Jaquari, you. When it comes to and I'm throwing this is a broad open-ended question. When it comes to an answer to fix what's going on, what would it be?
To fix what's going on?
That's why I say it's open-ended, it's broad. Whatever comes to your mind. And look, and I'm giving you, because we're going to get off of here. I'm giving you 2 minutes, which is a long time, my guy. Let's go.
It don't take that long, bro. Hey, man, I'm not Jesus, man. I don't know to fix it, all this stuff. I just know, man, to be my best self, be an example, man. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be what it's going to be. You going to accept it or not? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I can't dwell on the people that's willing to go against me. That's their prerogative and what they think for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Why would I allow myself to be in that space, man? You know what I'm saying? I give my opinion, I give my best self, and that's what I'm gonna do, man. And I'm gonna live with it.
Okay. Jaquar.
I can say, man, that if I were to give you the most perfect, pristine answer, to the ills of our community or whatever, man, I'm comfortable in the fact that personally, man, I'm having some expectations for that answer to change eventually, man. I mean, things that work for us not gonna work for our kids. It's a simple fact. Our kids in some aspects are more advanced, but the world has seen fit to stunt them in a lot of ways too. And this is with all our kids, man. COVID has set our kids back in terms of social interactions and just sitting in a room with another person set us back so far, man. Before in alignment with all the shit that's already happening in the world, and then they can't leave the house. So we basically had a worldwide reset.
Yeah.
The 2 years of COVID was our version of Moses in the wilderness for 40 years. Ideas have changed, man.
That's real.
The pursuit of happiness does not have the same definition as for our kids. Doesn't have the same definition as we had growing up. Are we mature enough? Are we grounded in the lessons that we taught them enough to allow for them to grow and them to change the world? Because that's what's going to happen.
Gotcha. Okay. I got two responses to that question. The first response is me being an asshole, right? But I wish we would treat each other like we treat white people, right? That's the asshole answer, right? And then my really authentic answer is this: learn how to love each other to the point where we give the community a chance, not just an individual chance, because I think right now we're individualistic. We only deal with what's going on in our personal life, in which we should, right? Which,
It means that we're synaptic. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
hey, bro. That was
bring it
deep,
on,
man.
bringing it on home.
That was deep.
But also, as I answered before, save enough to link up the community. I'm not asking you to sacrifice all of you, but save enough where we have a common goal. Because you want to know something? Us as young men, we had a common enemy. It was quote unquote white society. So we had to be three times as good. We had to understand that people was working against us because we wanted to be a part of their community instead of our own, even though it's what it is. I'm talking about in our lifetime. But not to believe in the resilience of who we are kind of hurt us.
Did it?
Yeah, it did. It did. In my opinion, it did.
Look at the three of us on this page. Has it hurt us?
No, I get that. I'm talking about the community, not the individual.
Community, because they didn't have the wherewithal. I agree with that, but the three of us, come on, bro. We've been blessed our whole life, bro. We have. We only been disappointed because our people, dare I say, kept up with us. And and during the times in our trials and tribulations that we went through our shit, did we have time to think about that? We just had to survive the situation, and we actually did it. So we left the wet, being an example. No matter what a person thinks about us, man, because how arrogant a person think we are, they don't know our life, man. They don't know what we went through. They don't know the shit we sacrificed. That was an everyday experience for us, bro. We've never had a break. Every aspect of all three of our lives has been about the work, bro. And there's not a person walking this earth that's going to deny that. Period. The only struggle we have is people think we arrogant for going through that process.
I actually am arrogant, bro. So
Huh?
I actually am arrogant. So it's taken me years it's taken me years to come to that realization, man. But I'm an arrogant fucker, man. I am. You know,
What
So
is
you
that though, bro?
so
for
you
the
know
for
how
the
Allow him to express why he's saying that.
I don't think he need to express it. He just being on point with it.
No, I think
He knows how his shit stink. But go ahead, Jaquari.
I
Ask
mean,
the
I'm arrogant for some of the exact same reasons you just expressed, bro.
I'm arrogant, man, because nobody expected me to be where I was. You know what I'm saying? And I came to the conclusion that I didn't expect them to give a shit. I didn't. And at the end of the day, when I was in that wilderness by my damn self, and I did what I had to do, I could have took that route. I could have been that. But you know what? The reason you want to know the reason why I did do it? Because I didn't allow them to be angry enough to be who I was. And I accept the fact that I did that shit by my goddamn self. And then people had the nerve to say, damn, this nigga arrogant. Yeah, I had to be. Without you. Without you. I did it by my damn self. And I struggled and I failed and I crawled and I did what I had to do. And nobody recognized that shit except my daddy. Period. From the very beginning.
It's been a good show, fellas. Real good show. I think we expressed a lot, man.
Yes, sir.
We're able to get some things off our mind, man. For real.
All right. Well, look. Be looking out for hey, look on Facebook, TikTok, IG. Look for the different reels from this show, the clips from this show, because we're gonna find some of the most profound things that were said tonight, and come and lock in with us. Go to Strong Perspective Podcast on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do, and be who you need to be. Join us. Build us up. Do your thing. You feel what I'm saying? Do what we need to do.
All right, because the word is solipsism. SOLIPSISM.
Run that shit.
Solipsism.
Hey, Malika, you asked him to spell it again because he spelled it to you in the beginning when he first brought it up. But
Yeah,
you was sipping on some wine. It's so sweet. All right, Keith Barnes. Last. Keith Barnes says we can love our own people without hating others.
What up, bro, man? Speak that language, man.
And when we say or show love to all our people, we are accused of hating others. It is what it is, man. When the world is against you, my guy, it is what it is. But great quote, Keith. Listen, build us up, baby. Build our platform. Go to our platform. Like, share, and subscribe. Pay attention. Go to our shorts. Both my brothers are two brilliant human beings. I'm a little dogmatic. I'm a little abrasive. But listen to my words, because I'm a brilliant motherfucker.
You consistent, bro. So you have to pay attention to that.
This is a Strong Perspective Podcast. Last words, Damon Jaquari.
Yeah, man. You mentioned the shorts, man. I'm putting myself out there. TikTok. Let me know where I can type my game up, man, because I want to do this for a living.
No doubt. Damon.
Hey, man. Let's just be honest with each other, man. Love each other, man, and continue to be who we are, because we made a difference in a lot of people's lives.
No doubt. Love you, Malika. Good looking out, Keith, Eric. Hold it down, baby boy. Anybody else? I want to acknowledge everybody on this piece. Auntie, love you, baby. Hey, sister-in-law, love you, baby.
Love y'all.
This Strong Perspective Podcast, we out.
Peace.